What's your poison? In the movies, when someone enters a bar, the barman will usually ask him or her, "What's your poison?" So that's an old school phrase to ask you what alcoholic beverage you would like to take. I don't know much about alcohol, but maybe there might be people that will take vodka and they will never taste whiskey. So their poison is the vodka. Now, when it comes to relationship and dating, what do I mean? Every one of us have our choice poison in another partner. Your poison is that flaw in another person that you would rather live without, but since it's not possible, it's a part and parcel of the person, you can live with it. Your poison is the unpleasantness that you will wish was not there, but because the person is awesome in many other ways, you are willing to let that unpleasantness slide. So when that person exhibits that particular trait, you might go, you rather it's not there. But then a few seconds later, you are enjoying the other areas of the person. So that is your poison. For example, I can never date a man who hits me because that will mean that my children and grandchildren will have to come and visit me in a high security jail. Yeah. And I can never date an alcoholic either. So that is not my poison. So can I find the perfect man? No. Everyone has an unpleasantness in him or her. It doesn't make you a bad person. So my own poison from my own research is that I can handle somebody who is not too tidy because I can be tidy for both of us. So that is my poison. I would rather if he is a very, very neat and tidy human being, but I'll prefer an untidy man to a man who is an alcoholic or who hits women. Do you understand now? Many marriages fail because the partners fail to discover what their poison was before they entered into the marriage. Look out for the flaw in your man because down the line, that is what will either break or make your relationship. My elder sister told me something recently that if you cannot see the flaw in your spouse, you are with the wrong person. Love is not blind. Love chooses to be blind to things. So you need to know that particular flaw in that person and decide to love them in spite of it. If you cannot point to one particular trait, attitude, or character that you prefer them not to exhibit, then you are with the wrong person. Open your eyes and see the flaw in your partner and then multiply it by 100, because in marriage things become magnified. Whatever you saw little bit of while you were dating, you still had the rosy glasses on. When you get married, you will see the person at a closer proximity. Things will be far worse. So if you have not considered the worst state of that particular trait, by the time it hits you, that is when you hear people say, I cannot take this anymore, or you have changed, I didn't know this about you before. Nobody changes like that. Whatever you see in marriage, it has been exhibited a little bit during dating and courtship. So you need to open your eyes. The worst state of this flaw, can I still love this person? Will I still be able to live with this person? Will I still enjoy life with this person? If your answer is no, then you better leave that relationship. You know the saying, time flies when you're having fun? Well, when you're not having fun, time moves excruciatingly slowly. So, in order to expatiate further, come with me into imagination land. I will paint you some pictures. Let's consider a man who has anger problems and explosive temper. Let's call it hair trigger temper, where the slightest things annoy them and causes them to explode, and expressing their anger in physically and verbally abusing you. Whatever a man's weakness are, it will always manifest a bit while you are dating. So please don't deny whatever you see. Don't try to explain it away. Instead, decide if you can handle his anger in the long term. And if not, you should know how to navigate your relationship right now. If you say you can handle his irrational anger, okay, fine. The time will come when it will seem as if you and your children are walking on eggshells in your own house. You cannot be at rest. Whenever he is around, everybody will go into hiding. Can you also handle the abuse that in most cases are the byproducts of his anger? Can you handle the disrespect that comes with it? And what if his anger flows from you to the children and he begins abusing them too? What will you do? Some women have married such men, and at a time when they finally had enough, they responded in kind, in self-defense, and now they are facing prison time due to homicide. Or, on the other hand, a lady with such temper, easily angered by very, very little things. And whenever she's like that, she shatters your TV, slashes your expensive sofa, or maybe even smash your windscreen. The three little S's. She may be an awesome person, but this is her weakness. Can you handle it? In fact, this is all why you are dating. Things will graduate to another level in marriage. She may decide to bury a bullet in your skull or plant a very sharp, beautiful kitchen knife in your belly while you are asleep, all because she's angry. There are real life situations of all this happening. So please, my brothers and sisters, pick your poison carefully. Okay, a lady might say, I don't mind him if he's a little bit rough and aggressive. I can handle it because I'm into, kinky stuff. Well, what if down the line, after you get married, one day he now got a little bit aggressive with you and then pushed you a little bit aggressively, and you went and hit your glass table, or you fell down a flight of stairs and you miscarried your 7-month-old baby? I know the pictures might be grim, but I need to paint you the grim pictures so that you will know the reality of what actually happens. These things happen. And for those of you who want to date the happening type, those that are very, very good at partying because you feel their lives are very interesting. And so you date this girl, she comes back by 1 a.m. or 3 a.m. That is when she returns home. And you think it's okay, you think it's cute. You ask her about it and she tells you that's the only way she can, let loose and relax. That's the only way she knows. And you still feel it's okay. You marry her. Just imagine you're at home one day and she decides to go for a night party and she leaves you at home with the children because you knew before you married her that that's the only way she can let loose. So you cannot stop her because she needs to go and let loose. And what if one of the people that your wife is partying with decides to take it too far and begins to behave indecently towards her? Because I've not seen a night party where people are not drunk. Or as the woman, you are interested in a guy who parties a lot, and one day he decides to bring the party home to you, and all the party goers are doing all these indecent things in the presence of your toddler. Just imagine that. So please, when you are deciding on who to marry, if that is their weakness, they cannot stop partying, make sure you calculate it very well and think about the worst that can happen when you get married. Can you handle her when she's dancing with other men, the touching and all the other activities involved? Or can you bear to see your man in that kind of situation with other women? Because you cannot be in a party or allow him to go to a party and then those kind of things will not happen. I mean, just think about the worst that can happen before you choose your poison. And now let's look at the dirty and untidy woman. While you're dating, you call her by, let's say, 12 p.m. and she's still in bed, unbaited, unkept, has not stood up to tidy up her environment. And you think it's cute. You tell her, oh, I wish I was there with you so that we could just cuddle. And the whole situation looks romantic to you. Well, when you get married, don't get surprised when you go to work and come back by maybe 4 or 5 and she's still in bed. She hasn't had a bath. The dishes in the sink are 2 weeks old, and she washes your bed sheets once in a month. But at least she's in bed waiting for you to come and cuddle her, right? I'm not sure she'll be very cuddle-able right then. I know of a man who is threatening to divorce his wife because, in his own words, she's just a dirty pig. Okay, you knew her, sir, but you didn't pay attention. or else you would have been well prepared. And then another lady might say, I don't mind him if he's a drunkard, as long as he's a good provider and he makes resources available for the family. I don't mind if he drinks himself to stupor, no problem. Well, what if one day you're at home with the children and you receive a phone call from the law enforcement officers to tell you that your husband has been involved in a terrible motor accident because he was driving while drunk and he killed a mother with her twin daughters, and now you are all tangled up in the court cases, and every time you see the family on TV or in court, your heart will break afresh, and your husband will be in jail for a very, very long time because of his crimes. Now you are left with the babies, only you, taking care of them, fending for them. Just a picture. You don't mind the drunkard, right? What is the worst thing a drunkard can do? I did not even mention him coming home and beating you black and blue because he's drunk. And then when he's sober, he's like, oh, sorry. But he will not stop drinking. Every night he drinks, he beats you, and in the morning he apologizes. How is that? So if you've been watching so far, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps to get the video to more people. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do so and join the family. And how about the vain woman who cannot bring herself to do any chore at home because she doesn't want to break her nail, and she can't even cook for you because proximity to the gas stove is not good for her hair, and so on and so forth. So if you're marrying such a lady who brags to you while she's single that she doesn't do anything in her father's house, please prepare yourself. Hire a cook and a cleaner. In fact, hire a house manager also before you marry her, because apparently she has told you beforehand. Is it worth it at the end of the day? Then let's talk about the procrastinator and the lazy one. While you're single and dating, he's spending a lot of time with you. I mean, we like our men to spend time with us, but he's not just spending a lot of time with you, he's actually spending all of the time with you. He doesn't have anything doing. Since they laid him off his last job, he's not interested in finding another job, because all the other jobs that are easily available for him, they are for low-level people, and he cannot bring himself down to do such things. He would rather depend on you to feed him until his dream job arrives. He's not ready to work from the bottom and trust God to lift him up. I mean, why will he go and carry blocks? Why will he go and work part-time for a construction company? Very, very lazy. Or in another scenario, he refuses to clear the bush behind your house, and now it has overgrown, and snakes and scorpions and spiders are roommates with you, sharing your bed space and your kitchen with you. You might be happy that he's spending time with you, but look at it long term. After marriage and children, he's too lazy to go and get a job when he's laid off from one. You will be the one carrying the load of the family, including just being the woman, which means you're the one getting pregnant, giving birth to the children, rearing them mostly, and then you still have to be the breadwinner just because your husband does not want to start small. Every man should have something doing. It's even better when you go to work and you come back. We enjoy you better. Don't just sit home and depend on us to go and do the work. There is nothing romantic about that in the long run. So these are just a few that I've listed. After this video, sit down and think about it, and make sure that you can pick one thing that you do not like about them. Not that you hate it. That's why it's your poison. The things that you hate, that's not your poison, because you will not swallow it. Your poison is those things that you do not like, but you can swallow without any trouble. So what are those flaws? Can you manage somebody who is a drunkard? Can you manage somebody who is rich but beats you? Will the money be okay for you as long as he meets all your financial needs? And then you use the money to buy expensive makeup and cover all the bruises he's giving you? What is your poison? Think about it. So if any one of you have any video suggestions or any topics you want me to speak about, please let me know down in the comments, or send me an email to breedelegance2021@gmail.com. It will be in the description box. I'm interested in knowing what you want to know about so that I can do my research and give you great content as always. But until then, I'll keep doing as I'm led by the Holy Spirit. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. For those of you who are new, I am Jessica Daniels, and we give relationship counseling here. and I'll see you next time.